Well, today on the bench is a personal project. Now I did include this in a project preview video, came into one of the shops. This is the Project One Mark 800, and I had not worked on a Project One before. So this is a personal project because there is no information on the internet about this at all. There are no service manuals, no schematics, no one can find anything about it. No idea who actually manufactured these. They were made for, I think, a stereo company on the West Coast called Playtime or something like that. So this one is just, I'm just going to play around with it. And usually today I'm filming this on a Sunday, and Sunday is the day where I do my projects. So for example, I'm going to turn the camera real quick. I was putting some a new mid-range in one of my Jensen Model 5s and playing on the, or playing around with the, kind of cleaning up the cabinets. Then I did some work on the Wharfdale speakers that I had built new cabinets for. I ran new internal wire to those. And I decided to turn this on and kind of see what was going on with it. Now, again, I did preview the receiver in terms of what kind of support is out there, and there's hardly any. There's really nothing. So what I want to show you is kind of what the receiver is doing now, what I have done to it to this point, and what I plan on doing with this going forward. So I'm going to turn the volume all the way down. I'm going to turn the power on. I'm going to get my phone out. We're going to time how long it takes to come out of protection, because it takes it quite a while. So let's see. And power. It's on my dim bulb tester. And it's still waiting. Okay, about 10 seconds. Now, depending upon how long this has been sitting, now again, it's on the dim bulb, so maybe that affects it. It was taking sometimes upwards of 20 seconds to come out of protection. This one suffers from kind of the same ailments as other Project Ones. Number one, these bulbs get really super hot, and it started to kind of melt the diffuser. So I'm going to pop some LEDs in here eventually. The meters are all toast. They're all frozen. I did test them. It seems like there is some kind of resistance, so I don't know if that's a screw that's too tight or if there's something else going on with it. The issue with this is someone else has been here working on it, and the backs of those are all taped. So I was able to get the meters to move, the two VU meters to move with the use of a my multimeter on diode mode, right? So I could send the needle all the way to the right or all the way to the left, but then it just sits there. So I think it's probably something's probably frozen there, but I really honestly don't know. You can't find replacements for these. Well, you can, but who knows if they're working. They're about 20 bucks a pop. This receiver is rated at 80 watts per channel. But there are some other issues that I want to talk about before I even think about working or worrying about replacing those meters. So I'll turn it on. It's on FM. Now both channels work on mono FM. However, if I put it on stereo, only the left channel works. But if I turn this off, kind of off to where it's not tuned, the right channel will come in. So I'll give you an example. So that's where the right channel comes in at about 106.2, very, very weak. The left channel comes in at about 106. So it kind of lags, right? The right channel lags the left channel when it's FM stereo. And no service manual. Who knows how to even start troubleshooting that? Let's see what else is going on with this. I think that's it. But I do want to move the camera to get a top view and kind of show you what I've done to this so far, and kind of why I did that. What I did to this, and I just started working on this today, but I wanted to kind of take a break from working on this and get some of this recorded. When I did an initial evaluation, pop the top off, you can see where the other tech, and I know who the other tech is, he's a real good tech. He went through and I'm pretty sure he was probably validating or verifying, right, that these capacitors were good, probably trying to troubleshoot the FM problem. So anyway, I'm not really worried about FM right now, but when I looked at the power supply board, this was like the normal condition or state of most of the capacitors. And when I pull these are way out of spec, like way out of spec, 30% or more out of spec. These are the 470s, the 1000. In fact, I think was it this one? Might have been this one. One of these was at like 250. I think it was this one was like a 250, and this one was maybe at 600. Right? It's got some kind of probably heat mark on it. All right, and then all of these were also more than 20% out of spec. Most of these 220s were hitting over 300. This 100 was at about 130. Oh no, this was 47. This was at like 60. So I thought this one would be easy to get to. This board would be easy to get to. So I flipped it up on the side and I replaced all of the capacitors. And it didn't take me very long. And again, this is going to be mine. The shop, we can't sell this at the shop because, I mean, FM doesn't work. And, you know, we try to sell components out of both shops that are working. My goal is to send this out and never see it again. Well, if FM isn't working, that's going to be hard to do. So I did all the capacitors here. I'm probably going to work on the transistors, see if I can see what these are, and then put some replacement transistors in there. It's kind of hard with power supplies because some of the transistors have multiple replacements, substitutions, and depending upon what the transistor is doing, you would choose one substitution over the other, and choosing the wrong one probably wouldn't have catastrophic results, but could result in something just not working the way it should. Like this is crooked, so I don't know what's going on here. It's just kind of sitting there. I don't think there are holes in the board for the heatsink on that. So anyway, but again, this is going to be my Sunday project. You know, I'll grab it every Sunday, maybe do a board at a time, or maybe next Sunday I'll finish up the power supply. I will do the amp board. There is no DC, and I did test voltages across the emitter resistors, and it's only at about 16 millivolts, which is probably what it would be set at in terms of bias. So if I got that right, yeah, because there's no voltage here and about 16 across these. So I did kind of do a poor man's, or a guess or a wag in terms of setting the bias, but I'm sure that these capacitors are also in the same boat. These transistors, I don't know what they are. It looks like we have, I don't know if those are ICs or FETs or JFETs or something. I don't know. So anyway, that's kind of the status of the Project 1. Kind of bummed that it didn't work out of the box, but this might be a good garage receiver, or maybe I'll throw it in my gym. It'll go with the other misfits that I'm either waiting on parts for, or have unobtainium parts that I can't source or can't repair. So anyway, just wanted to let you know what was going on with this one. Still have a lot of projects in the queue. This one kind of jumped in front of the other ones because it's Sunday, and this is when I do the things that I want to work on. So anyway, there will probably be a part 2 on this at some point. I don't know. It's going to be, there'll be some gaps in between working on this. So, and one thing I did want to mention, the meters on this. Some people will replace the meters with Pioneer SX880 meters, and I guess it doesn't look too bad if you do that. I probably won't do that because I really don't care about the meters. But you never know. I may go down that path. Or I may try to buy some old meters and see if I can get them to work. But so anyway, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, stay tuned. There will probably be a part 2 and a part 3 to this as I find time to work on it. So catch you in the next video.